Hello everyone, my name is Yang Su and I'm a PhD student in Inha Agrobiotech under instruction of Benoit Gabriel and David Markovsky. And my current work is about using wind and forest to predict the crop yield of conservation agriculture under climate change. And for today's presentation, I will first introduce you the dataset we used for this study, and then I will talk about the training and the cross-validation process of wind and forest model. And then in the end, I will show you the main result from the study. So about the dataset, it is a dataset of crop yield data of no TG system and a conventional TG system. The dataset is available on Figshare and can be accessed through this link. And it contains more than 4,000 pairs of crop yield data, which were connected from 413 papers. And it covers 50 countries as the map shows. And it includes 8 crops which were listed here. Which include barley, cotton, maize, rice, sorghum, soybeans, sunflower, and wheat. Note that the size of the circle here indicates the number of the observations, and the colors represent different crop species. Besides the crop yield data, we also include the local climate conditions such as precipitation, temperature, and the evapotranspiration over the growing season. And it also includes the categorical data such as the soil texture and the farming practices like tillage, crop rotation, crop residue management, weed and pest control, crop irrigation, and field fertilization. One thing to notice that if a no-TG system incorporated incorporated with both crop rotation and residue retention, then it becomes conservation agriculture based on FAO's definition. And if you go through the link, you will find out the dataset like this. And if you like to use it, you are welcome to contact us to, we can discuss the details. So we trained the wind and forest model based on the dataset. And for me, the wind and forest has 2 randomness. The first one is bugging randomness, which will give us a random subset, but with the same size. So basically, the size of the training set is the same for each tree, but instead of using original training data, we randomly replace some of them by the others inside the data. It will give us a no coordinated training set for each tree, and the other one is feature randomness. So instead of considering all the possible features to split a tree, like the decision tree does, we choose 3, or you can choose any other numbers. Here we choose 3 random features to split the tree. So in the end, we will get the more dynamic and no coordinated trees, and it will give us high model accuracy. So we use the wind and forest package in R to train the wind and forest model, and the training predictor variable X includes the climate conditions over a growing season, which include the precipitation balance, which equals to the precipitation minus evapotranspiration, and it indicates the water availability for crop growth. And of course, we include the average, maximum, and the minimum temperature over the growing season. It also includes crop species, soil texture, and the crop management practices such as crop rotation, soil cover, field fertilization, weed and pest control, and crop irrigation. The training response variable y is a category of yield gain or yield loss, which is defined by the crop yield of NT to CT is either higher than 1 or not. The model prediction output is different with the other presenters before. We here the output is the probability of yield gain under NT with CT instead of the categories of the prediction. So here are some simple animation of forest building. So the green points indicates the observation of yield gain, and X is the corresponded climate conditions and the crop management practices. And basically in this stage, we trained the 500 trees with the random subset and the random splitters. And then we go to prediction. So here we know in this stage, we know the climate conditions and the farming practices, but the Y is unknown. So we feed these conditions to each tree, and it will, for each tree, it will give us a category, either yield gain or yield loss. And if we vote based on the number inside each category, and here it will give us a vote of yield loss because it has more numbers. But if you count the number of yield gain over the total numbers, it will give us a probability of yield gain. Here is 40%. So that's why in our model output we have the probability of yield gain. And for the cross validation, we use a Newton auto cross validation, and we use AUC curve as a criterion to judge the goodness of the model performance. And here is the result. As you can see, the overall performance is 78.6%, which indicates there is 78.6% chance that random forest can rank the samples with yield gain higher than yield loss. But we should also notice that this performance will vary with different crop species. We found out that sorghum has the highest AUC, which is 87.2%, while the sunflower is only 64%. And this one may be linked to the number of the observations inside our data set. After we trained the model, we use it to do the global projection of NT or CA performance under climate change. And here is our model setting. For numerical model setting or the climate conditions over growing season, it includes the same as before, like precipitation bands and the temperatures. And we set 2 time scenarios. The first one is the current scenario. We set it as a mean climate condition of 2011 to 2020. And the future scenario is the mean climate condition of 2050 to 2060. And all the data resource is from SMIP2B project. And the result you will see here is the result from RCP 4.5 scenario and from IPSL and 5A LR kind of model. And for the categorical model input, we combined all the agricultural management inputs to simulate different cropping systems. And we should note that again, with both crop rotation and soil cover, it will be a CA system. Otherwise, it will be no TG system. Here is the crop types we simulated here, and the soil texture data set. Soil texture data is from the HWSD data set. And here is the result for different cropping systems. And this is a map of probability of yield increase in current climate. The green one indicates the probability is higher than 0.5, and The red one means it's lower than 0.5. And if we compare the plot A and the plot B with plot C and plot D, we will notice that the CA has better performance than CT than NT. And if we check plot A, we will notice that with the well-management, with the well-managed crop fertilization and the integrated weed and pest control, CA is likely to outperform CT. And if we compare plot C with other plots, we will know that soil cover has a stronger positive effect on the probability of yield gain than other crop management practices. As for the changes on the probability under the climate change, we notice that for maize in the future, the performance of say an NT system will be improved in tropical regions, as you can see, and also in the northeastern America. And we also compared the model we also checked the model performance, model sensitivity to different RCP scenarios and the different climate models. The first two rows is the result for different RCP scenarios, and the bottom two rows is the RCP is the result for different climate models, and then we can conclude that the results are more sensitive to different RCP scenarios instead of climate models. And as a brief summary, so we can say that soil cover can boost the performance of say an NT system. Other cropping practice, such as crop rotation, fertilization, control of weed and pest, also can improve the performance of say an NT. And in the future, the performance of say an NT for maize will be improved in tropical regions and northeastern America. So that's all. If you have any question, you can either send me by email or just write in the Google document. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yang. We have time for one short question. I see one question in the chat. The question is, CO2 could play an important role in future crop yields. Would your models take this into account?
In current model, we did not include the CO2. For us, we consider like the climate conditions will play a more important role. But we hope we can check this one. We can include this one in the future study.